Hello, ladies. Why did you change the title? Because we're going to be looking at an interesting Linux distro. Woo. One beer, one EP. I wish I could have a beer counter or something. There's got to be a way to do it. Did he reboot his computer? No. Man, that stream delay is crazy. Do, 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 do. But what I did do is in your mom's distro. I wish. Um, I did get some power monitoring plugs set up, which is kind of sick. Z-Wave is pretty based. I'm gonna like at some point like be able to like monitor like all my power usage, all the way with like my lights are automated. I can monitor my power. Local integration is kind of sick when it comes to, I guess, like people have like a problem with IoT devices, but obviously put it on like a secure network and make sure that it gets updates. We should look at PISI Linux. It's really cool. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, I'll spin up. I have enough RAM for 2 virtual machines. Start 9 is they're gonna do an open source router, which is kind of based. A RISC-V too. Huh. Do 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 do. Ba 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 da 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 ba 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 da 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 da. Dragon OS is pretty sick. Where is it? Do 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 do. It's Turkish, however, you can change the language in the installer. I have 3.1 share ratio on one of my ITP torrents based. Is Pissy Linux, you said it's Turkish? Unfortunate. That makes me not want to look at it. It's kind of funny. What the hell? Oh, where are you? This motherfucker be posting. Yo, does your back ever hurt? Oh, there it is. It looks pretty based. It's not an MIT license, so it makes me hate them a little bit. Yeah, I want the lab. Oh, put it in here. It's kind of beefy. It's gonna. It's kind of a beefy. It's 10. Where the fuck am I downloading this from? NL? Oh, that explains it. Is there a US? Come on. Archive.org. OVH? OVH is in like France or something, right? Gandhi. Damn. This isn't on Tor, right? No, it's on Brave. Saying 10 minutes. You know, I'll accept the 10 minutes and come back in 10 minutes. I put a password on the ThinkPad BIOS and forgot it. You're fucked. You can't use it anymore. It's cooked. I believe if you remove, I think there's a way to do it. I think if you remove the CMOS battery, I think there's a way you can reset it. It's completely possible. You can't. You're not the first person to do it, but that doesn't mean you can undo it. We're going to be looking at a forensic investigative Linux distribution. We'll read some stuff while this fucking 10 gig file downloads in 7 minutes, hopefully. Hopefully it's a 64. Surugi? I don't know. I can't speak Italian, so I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that. But it seems very interesting. It's probably based on like a Debian, unfortunately. I unplugged both the password is totally and normal. Password is stored in NV RAM. Just remove the RAM, brother, and put it back. How long did you leave the CMOS battery out, though? I think it's got to be like 5 minutes before you even turn it on. Do that and then remove the RAM. Just remove everything and then put it back in after 5 minutes. Make it 30 minutes. Like chill for a good 30 minutes and then put it back in. Maybe it'll be good then. You can't be the first one. That was my mistake. Not that, but like me not waiting 5 minutes. In this section are all the available information about the frequently asked questions. If you're not able to find your answer here or on the website, feel free to drop us an email. Usually we answer them within 24 to 48 hours. Hopefully they support PGP. Once again, we remember that Siguri Linux project is an open source and totally free project, independent, without any commercial brand or company behind it. This project is developed in our free time, and our main goal is to share knowledge, be useful, and give back to the community. It is a Linux project is live and running. Here's below. New release lab will be published at the beginning of 2026, and with a new session about advanced hardware investigations. 2026 will be the release of a new acquired rebuild from scratch. Oh, nice. Is this a LFS? If this is LFS, this would be based, actually. Introduction. Oh. Oh, distro watch. No, it's based on a Debian. Boo! I think the ThinkPad thought it was 2001 again after I plugged them back in. That's okay. 2001 was okay, except for, that September thing. Wasn't it 2001? Is an Ubuntu-based Linux distribution designed to support digital forensics, incident response, DERF investigations, malware analysis, and open source intelligence (OSINT) activities. It comes with many popular software tools to conduct an in-depth forensic or incident response investigation, as well as several special features like device write blocking at the kernel level, a dedicated computer vision analysis functionality, and an OSINT profile switcher. It can be used in live mode, but its main goal is to be installed on and to serve as the default forensic labs. So if you have a ThinkPad, you should put this on there so you could investigate spooky stuff you find on the dark web, the deep internet, as I would say. Wow, 1 hour left. What the fuck is this? How does it go from like 5 minutes to 1 hour? Well, we'll bust out Tor. And then we will also bust out, what is it, PP Linux? Oh, yeah. A cat Linux. Based. Quick and easy install. Free and open source, equipped with the latest technology. Easy and familiar for everyone. More speed. Pissy Linux. GNU/Linux, as I would like to say. Bring your PC back to life. Uninterrupted thanks to special infrastructure. Thanks to its special infrastructure, you will not have any problems slowing down over time. Applications open quickly, and your operations run smoothly. So you can use your computer more. Let's see how low. What's the resource? A registration. That's interesting. Let's see what the lowest resources we can put on it as well. Our server sponsors. Something Turkish, something Turkish. Download. Introducing minimal. There is no desktop in this version. You can install the desktop in our warehouse if desired. Yeah, that's funny. For installations, mansion will arrive at startup. You can install it with the mansion and then install the desktop. Yeah, maybe this might be an English translation problem. Okay, the necessary or install the necessary servers and use it as a server. Oh, okay. KDE, boo, is here with the improvements of our current warehouse. Okay. Minimal. I was doing to my cat today. Based. As you should. You should let your cat know that you want to tell them fun things. All you are is a money pit for them. We'll try running this with half a gig of RAM. How much RAM do you need for Plasma to even be functional? One, can it run on half a gig? I have C ISO. I think I might seed it over ITV. You should, so other people can enjoy it. I did. Can I too? Yeah, yeah. As you should. Yeah, you should let your cat know that you are having a good time and they are based. 1 gig of RAM? Why not half a gig of RAM? Is it possible? I don't like how this guy looks. Modern private cloud infrastructure. Using gparty tool manipulated devices, partitions could error because time gparty to do a refresh device if you need to create a partition, for example. In my experience, you need like 2 gigs for Plasma to run good on Gen 2. But isn't Gen 2 bloated compared to this? As you guess, earn money is not the goal of the open source project, but feel free to drop us an email if you need. We will answer. We have some requests about possibility of professional collaborations with the code team to answer. Huh. Interesting. I have 2 things downloading now. 8 hours. What's going on? I should download this stuff in advance. Me thinking it was a Tor, a Tor site. I might have to restart my router at some point. Let's see what up with these downloads. Okay, 30 minutes. We'll see. We might be blessed with the half a gig of RAM for KDE gang. Let me get to my adult water. Balls. I just switched to CachyOS and I feel like I made the wrong choice, as you should. CachyOS is a psyop. It's not that good. It's only wrong choice if you're not happy with it. No, it's the wrong choice. Are they complying with ID uploading thing? I don't know. I saw something. No, they're not. But systemd sucks anyways, so food for thought. Amen. Don't listen to either of them, Will. You made the wrong decision. Join Void. Install Void Linux. Become based. Become free. Systemd free. Jay and Billy are government psyops to convince people to use Arch Linux. Jay has a wife. Would you trust that? Never trust a Linux user with a wife. Only been on Linux since October. I don't know. Yeah. I once was also retarded and used System D and Arch Linux, and then I became free and based and cool. Let's see where we're at. How are you going to go from 58 minutes, 1 hour, 58 minutes, 1 hour? Artix is Arch-based too. It does not have a System D, and it is not complying with age verification attestation laws. Or, oh, you just want a game? You can, so the thing is, like, okay, Void Linux, no install scripts, no setup, like, funky stuff, gaming works. I've done gaming on pretty much. I've done gaming on all my Linux distributions, like with very little. Most modern Linux distributions, gaming's easy. I think Ed will go back to Arch. Who's Ed? And you are the president? No. I'll switch to something else next week when my Claude. Oh. Oh, you like. Oh, on your PC. Yeah, that's the only thing bad about distro hopping is, well, I mean, my opinion is memes. Okay, memes aside, just spin up a virtual machine, like download like Virtual Manager or OpenBox or whatever, and test it. Me? Oh, I'll never go back to Arch. I don't care. I don't hate Arch Linux. I think it's better. I mean, if it was like in order to be Void Arch Linux, maybe like if actually I would go to OpenSUSE before I'd go back to Arch Linux. But all you have to do is just spin up in a virtual machine. And that's how I do it. I test on like a virtual machine like a lot, and then if I end up liking it, then I'll migrate. That's why I know this sounds crazy. I have two. I just came from OpenSUSE. OpenSUSE is nice. It's got a cool package manager, Zypy or whatever, and it's rolling release, which is kind of cool. Actually, so, like on my desktop, my games and everything, all my important files. OpenSUSE, very based, yeah, true. All my files and everything important, everything I do is done on a separate hard drive, while my main operating system, just like where it just works and everything, is on its own, hard drive, its own SSD, etc., etc. So if I have to, can you make it? No. So if it's nice, yeah, but frames, yeah, but you can there's ways you can optimize. I've never understood the frame thing to be completely fair. I'll be frame lagging and not even give a shit. Damn, 3 hours. What the fuck? There's I mean, I was on Garuda for a long time. But I don't know, Void Linux is very lightweight, so I guess more frames. If you actually wanted to like maximize, you would do it yourself. Because like there's probably a lot of bloat in cache Linux where you could just remove. I mean, Arch Linux isn't like super hard to install. They have like install scripts now where it can like walk you through it. It's not like it was like where you had to do everything from the command line and then getting a desktop to work. There is also what is it? Actually, sometimes I just go to DistroWatch. Damn it. I just go to DistroWatch. And I'll pick random distributions and try them out and see what I like. But Void is probably my favorite. Like, it'll tell you, like, different Linux. Everyone's like, art, antics, antics, antics. What is the? There's Ashi if you're a Mac user. And then yeah, you got Kashi Mint. I've never met a human soul that has used MX Linux. To be honest, I don't know why it's so popular. Let's see. MX Linux is cool. I used it in the old Inspire 6000. Internet Archives PSC Linux download link is faster. Oh, okay. Well, it's already 43 minutes in, so. Well, it's going to be done in 30 minutes, so. Can't go back now, baby. Should have told me. You should host an FTP server and add distros. You can running a mirror is it takes a lot of storage. Like running an actual mirror, like you want like hosting the ISO is cool, but hosting the mirror is even more. And fun fact, I used an MX Linux KDE Live USB to install my Gen 2. The real question is, why didn't you use Gen 2 to install Gen 2? That would have been peak. That would have been Gen 2 supremacy. But hosting uh an FTP server wouldn't really make sense. You can just seed all your torrents. I might do a seed box at some point, like where I host all the like Linux ISOs I get in. But there is a way to run full mirrors of like the ISO and everything. It's just I think it's like a lot of storage you need and bandwidth, I believe, as well. Especially if people are like coming to do it, like download it. Let's see where I'm at. Okay, 21 minutes, baby. Hell yeah. Let's see. Like some like the like peppermint. Never used it. Artix. This is the one that everyone's like, "Hey guys, Artix is good. Artix based." But of the Arch OpenRC and Majora OpenRC project, it uses the OpenRC init system, which is more based in no system D. Last update. Article lets you select between OpenRC, didn't run it S6, run it to the superior option. But I do like seeding my Linux distributions, to be honest, because I know it's like it costs they're doing it for free, and it costs a lot of money to run these. So even just doing that. MX you can select between system D and sysvint. Ah, cool. Sysinit got dropped, I believe, or it's like less maintained if I remember correctly. It's not even like ugh. It's not even like I think after reading it, it was like it's not even good. I would say even relatively run it in OpenRC are my favorite. OpenRC definitely based. Yeah. Okay, let's see this. Damn, still 1 hour. Oh, I think it's just one of those things that's just. Okay, let's go. Let's see where the fuck this at. Okay, cool. And even when I was using OpenRC with like Gen 2, it's it's not like really a hard system to like kind of like like the thing is like with like system D like run like using all the commands on like the server side of like infrastructure, and then going over to something like run it or like OpenRC is a little annoying because like it's a completely obviously it's completely different. On my server infrastructure that I host everything is based on Ubuntu server. System Doom. System Doom sounds cooler. If System Doom was a thing, I probably would enjoy it. System Doom wouldn't wouldn't adhere to age verification laws. I don't even know if System D is going to incorporate age verification. Besides, some people, uh, Someone said Flatpak will. Yeah. Let me see that. I don't know how they would. You don't need like a store to download Flatpaks. You can pretty much get them anywhere. If it's just so, I think we're using the word age verification system incorrectly. And yes, Flatpak is implementing age verification feature to comply with new regulation. Jurisdiction like California, Colorado. Uh, link the article. The thing about age verification is if it's systemd dropped sysv init support in major cleanup update. Look, by the way, when installing PC Linux, go with the Kamarum installation in Turkish desktop shortcut. I used a translator for that. You'll be able to change the install language to English. Oh, okay. The thing is, if age verification happens, if it's just asking like what's your age, that is annoying, and I wouldn't be a fan of it. But I wouldn't call it age verification. It's just asking for an age. There's nothing probably verifying it, or and if there is nothing verifying it, then whatever. But if it's a system that uses like an API check and like it's under a certain age and it locks you out of the system, then yeah, like that'd be gay. Because anyone can make a simple Python script and just be like, what's your age? And it's like, if age 25, say pee pee poo poo butt. I wouldn't call it age verification. It's just like, it's no different than a website asking like, are you 18? I'm not agreeing with this. But if that's all they're doing, whatever. Yeah. If it's actual age verification where they're going through it, and I'm not even like again a fan of that. I think that's it's retarded. It's a waste of time. It adds extra steps. But I'm not seeing anything about the Flatpak. Yeah, modern Linux without systemd is possible. I game on Linux. There it is. A YouTube. I mean, a draft can get rejected. This could just be someone doing a draft. That doesn't mean anything. Let's look at it. You can find that. Okay. Evening. Oh, that's from 2025. Okay, we can. Is that a pull request? Flush Esteban tried to delete remote. Allow. Okay. What the fuck is this? Oh yeah, I got it. Can I look it up by new? News. There we go. Client-side authorization caching and built-in Polka agent. Let's see if we can find it by draft. What distros have you been interested in so far? I use Void Linux right now as my main desktop and Cubes OS on my laptop because it provides the best security overall. California knows how to fuck shit up though. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Let's see. Age. Oh wait, I can just look it up. 19. $19.22. I'm probably a bit more casual about things, just using Nobra's good. It's Fedora based. It uses systemd though. But I don't think Fedora will do it. Yeah, whoever's sharing that around, that doesn't make sense. So Flatpak desktop portal, draft, add parental controls to the accounts portal. I guess if I could go into that. Nobra's good though. It works. It's gaming that works. So we'll just go here. Pull request. Shouldn't it be open? Oh, there it is. Portal. What's up? Birdline, it was better staying with Windows 10. I wasn't going to 11. Yeah, 100%. It is better. You made the right choice. Okay, so we're in the portal part. Issues. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure where that is. Like where people are showing this screenshot, it doesn't even seem like it's real. And nothing on the internet. Let me see what the other part of the internet says. Oh, there's inactive. Oh, there are inactive. There we go. All apps are getting hit with this. Flatpak will not be the exception. Adding it an open IPF for this is actually the smartest way, as it'll make it optional and only necessary information is getting pulled by the container. That being said, fuck age verification laws. Fight representatives, whatever you want. Linux still sucks, but I support it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why people say Linux sucks. It's like sucks. Like, what does Linux suck at to the point that you wouldn't use it? And the thing is, fight your representatives whenever you're located and let them know that you won't stand for government surveillance. Yeah, I think that'd be good. Linux still, um, let's see. Too many things, maybe just me. Sure. Everyone's entitled to their own wrong opinion. I'm just kidding. I get why people don't use Linux to a certain, like, I guess, degree. Not a computer guy here, just randomly came across the live, but what's the difference between with Linux and Windows? Sorry for the stupid question. No such thing as a stupid question. Oh, you use Ubuntu? That's your first problem. True. Um, Linux is more of a kernel, and GNU Linux is like the complete operating system. Windows is like obviously an operating system. Like everyone knows it, everyone uses it, but no, it's a broad answer, but it's a pretty simple question. You can answer it if you've used both. So like Linux is an operating system that it's more of a kernel. So like it's like the brain of it. It does like all the back end stuff. If you want to think of it like a kitchen, it's like the back of the house that makes everything like work. And then the front of the house is the GUI, which is GNU/Linux, GNU. That is like the utilities that people see, like the interface that we have here. This is all the works of like GNU, like the GNU software that is integrated with Linux. Linux's kernel is heavily maintained and it's open source. And because it's open source, anyone can contribute to it. Anyone can use it. Anyone can fundamentally fork it and make it their own. Unlike Windows, where Windows is proprietary software, where it is an operating system, but Microsoft owns it. They control what you can and cannot do, and that's kind of like a very oversimplified version of like the long history of this. But that's essentially what it is. Linux gives you freedom. Windows gives you like more control, like less control. Weren't you that guy who ran USB? Programs not working. I can't remember everything. I've had problems with just today. Things won't. Did you install USB or just flash the ISO? I don't understand what you mean by flashing the ISO, but it's installed on the USB. If it's installed on a USB, that no shit. So with Linux, I have options. If I know, you don't necessarily need to know what you're doing. You just got to have like a good reading comprehension when it comes to documentation. But there is a lot of it just works Linux distros. Oh yeah, no problem. You can install Linux as just a regular operating system and just use it normal. If all you do is surf the web and you just like watch YouTube. I do a lot of stuff from the browser, so it's not like super intensive. But if your goal is to like have more freedom and more freedom objectively, Linux is the way, because then you control what browser you want. I can update my system right now with Linux. That's like the beauty of it. So like with Windows, you have to wait. So I would do like do as, which is like putting me as a super user, and then XPBS. This is like my package manager. This is how I install it, and then I'm going to put install and then TAC S, capital S U. And the cool thing is when you do this, now my system will update. I don't have to reboot it. I don't have to do anything. This is the great thing about Bleeding Edge. It asks me, do you want to do this? And then I click yeah. I can open up another tab and then do like something like HTOP to see, or like BTOP to see my resources, what I'm using, and then close that tab out, close. While that's updating, I can also install stuff. I got a problem with the tweaks program. Oh, okay. I can install programs this way. I can install the GUI, and even better, everything has a man page. So man is a way, like if you're like a reader, if you like to read, you can use a man page. So you can do like BTOP. If you don't know how to use BTOP, TAC H, and then it tells you what it does and how it does it, like how to do it and what it does. You're probably just running the live system. Does it ask you to install or test it? Like I changed the cursor and it wasn't consistent. It's just randomly changing. Yeah, if this motherfucker is just using it in a live USB, I don't know what to tell him. That's not a Linux issue. That's like a skill issue right there. I've never ran a Linux from a live. The closest I got to running live Linux was Nomad BSD for maybe like a month or two, and then Tails. But like Tails is obviously like that's just something. I installed it. It's fully installed on the USB drive. Yeah, that's your problem. Why the fuck would you install it on a USB drive? That's retarded. That's so dumb. Why would you install it on a USB drive? You're gonna have like no shit's not working. I'm sorry. Why wouldn't you install it on a hard drive? Try sudo rmf to delete the fresh link. Oh, that's funny. You should delete the French the French language package. Actually, it would be good for society. Okay, so for not really, anonymity is kind of complex. This isn't to like dog Linux or anything, but Linux it does have its problems. Anonymity is, I guess it's more anonymous than using like Windows. Like there's no telemetry collection, and I just wanted to test it out as a native installation. Then you would install it in a virtual machine, or you would install it on a hard drive. So why do you use Ubuntu? I don't use Ubuntu. Ubuntu's I don't like Ubuntu. I use Void Linux. But if your first distro needs to be like it just works, like Ubuntu's okay. And then you'll grow and then you'll grow up and you'll discover better Linux systems. There's so many flavors of Linux. It's like there's an exhaustive. It's a very exhaustive list. You kind of like you're better off just firing up a virtual machine because it's the most popular, most preferred Linux. Yeah, that's a part of it too. And it's got a big company behind it called Canonical. If you really just want to be anonymous, you just got to use cubes or tails. Kind of. Yeah, but for someone who's never touched Linux, I think Ubuntu's fine. Are you turning in? Okay. Then I don't know what to tell you, buddy. You don't install something in a flash drive that heavy and think that it's going to work. Linux Mint is better than Ubuntu in most ways. Yeah, you could say that. There's some. Which is the one that I think it's I think it's Mint, Mint Linux. But I was listening before you stopped. Oh. Oh, nice. They're done. So what you could do is like if you're on Windows and you have you can get a virtual like Oracle. I use like Virt Manager. It runs terribly. That's why I wanted to rest it out natively. I thought it would be mostly a non-issue. No, that is definitely the issue. Running from a USB is that heavy is retarded. Your first distro is CachyOS. Unfortunate. Yeah, test it in a virtual machine. There'd be no reason to test it like on a flash drive. You're just not gonna have a good experience. So to install Linux, it's very simple. You just pick a distro like this. This is Debian based. Obviously, it's distro C. Why won't something that heavy work on a USB? Is it because it has no? Yeah, and it's like there's limitations. There's distros that are meant to run live, that are way more efficient and way less problematic, especially if you're trying to do stuff. CachyOS is nice because I get good FPS on games. Average virgin. So you could use something like Tails. Tails OS runs from a live USB. If to test it, you should just test it in a virtual machine. It's the easiest way. You don't got to do any configuration. You don't got to download anything besides this. So this is based on Debian, unfortunately. No, Ubuntu. Sorry. Same thing though. Ubuntu. You give it a certain amount of resources. You know what the minimum is. So I'm going to do 12 gigs of RAM with 8 core processors. Storage is not really relevant because I'm not installing anything, but I just always go a little bit extra. Ooh, that's close to. Let's do 45 gigs. When I want to do anything in the terminal, I just chat to what to paste. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. VMs run slow. What? And I don't have a lot of memory? Okay. So, you should have started with, I just don't have a lot of memory. Like, it's not, I've never had a problem with a virtual machine. Then pick a light distro to run. Or just install it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with installing it and then just going back to Windows. I didn't know we speak in poor. I didn't know you were poor. I'm kidding. What do you think about OpenSUSE? OpenSUSE is cool. It's a rolling, I only like rolling release. Rolling release distros are far superior. I will never go back to an LTS. LTSs are terrible. I'll smoke crack and fuck a hooker before I go back to an LTS. So like, and the cool thing is, even with Alpine, you can switch it to a rolling release. Very simple. It's a simple command. They tell you how to do it. You just pick the mirror that does rolling release. Yeah. There's no reason to go back after you touch a rolling release or a bleeding edge or whatever people want to call it. You're like, why would I go back? What a terrible idea. So this is a good way to run something live. Whoa, I don't like that. Is this conky? I think this is conky. Wow, that's scary. That's a very scary sound. Yo, it's got Terminator based. This is my first terminal emulator. Another reason I wanted to install it natively so I can install apps and programs after the computer turns off. The live system or trial version, whatever it's called, it doesn't save anything. Yeah, because it's not persistent. That's not installing it natively. You're just running it in a live system. Live systems it's not efficient. It's pretty much using RAM to run everything, so it's not taxing it any more than if you were to install it. It's just inefficient. You're not going to get a good experience. That's why you're better off. Like, that'd be like, I don't know even how to explain it. NiArch was my first distro, actually. I used NiArch for like a week. Yeah, I think everyone's got like those. Like I used it for a week, I didn't like it, and forget about it. I mean, I used elementary OS for like a week or something and forgot about it. Nice. So like this is what you would do. So this is a live system, and when you're on a live system, you can do stuff that, especially if it's not as resource intensive, and you don't care about save. Like I can do stuff in this live system, or you can do an install. You can install it. It's very simple. You click during the installation process, the write blocker feature will be temporarily disabled. All devices will be put in read mode, write mode. Are you sure you want to continue? You can hit no. This is in write only. That's the point. It's labeled as testing Ubuntu before the install. There's a separate install option. Do you think I can run a VM with it? Yeah, of course. There's plenty of light distros with like where you don't need that. I installed it though, like a full install. Yeah, you installed it in a USB drive. That's retarded. If you picked the USB as your install medium, if you pick the USB as your install medium, that's dumb. That's still running it as a live. You didn't natively install anything. You're putting it on flash memory to be able to do something that a hard drive is much more efficient at, and an SSD is that it's way more efficient. You're not going to get installing it on a flash drive would be like installing a 1,000 horsepower engine, a 200. No, let me reverse that. That'd be like putting the body of a Lamborghini on like a Toyota Corolla. It'd be pointless. It looks like a Toyota. It sounds like a Toyota. It's not. Yeah, PCB Magic Paginator is cool. Oh, nice. Say I partition one of my SSDs. What I do on Linux partition hurt my Windows? No, you can definitely dual boot. You can definitely dual boot 100%. The issue is if you brick, dual booting is kind of bad. It's not really worth it anymore. It used to be a thing where people would install it alongside a different partition, and they would be able to run Linux natively on a partition. There's not really a point in it if you have enough resources. Nick's episode 1. Never. I hate Nix. I never said it was ideal, but it's just I didn't want to mess with any of my drives that have other data on it. Then just run it in a virtual machine. You're not going to get a good experience doing it that way. I'm just telling you. You're putting on flash memory, which is not good, especially like flash drive flash memory is even worse. So like if you have a partition, if you can do dual booting, it's just not ideal. It's better just do it in a virtual machine. Most Linux distros can deal with 4 gigs of RAM or less. Like in terms of like need, you can even pick lighter versions that like are less resource intensive, and you can kind of figure out, hey, if this is for me or not. And then you can fuck up. You can't fuck up. You can fuck up in a virtual machine. You can't fuck up in a dual boot scenario. Q4 OS has a window installer that automatically sets up a dual boot, so you can boot either. Q4 OS is in general is user friendly. Yeah, but like dual boot, it's kind of I don't know. I just don't see the need in it anymore because virtualization software has gotten just so good, and Linux is relatively light. You don't need it. I would say in a perfect world, it's like unless you're really constrained. Why isn't it the point? Why isn't there a point to partition anymore? What is a virtual machine? You have said a lot. What is that? Oh, a virtual machine is just like this, which you're looking at right now. So for Windows, you have something called what does Windows use? They use Oracle, right? Dual boot sucks. Yeah, you're right. What's Oracle? It's Oracle, right? I tried so many VMs. I think some worked well, but I couldn't figure out how to install some things like TrackPad. Only Fortnite don't run it. Benefit. But I couldn't figure out how to install some things like trackpad gestures. That's why I jumped ship. Oh, Hyper-V. Okay, so whatever. There's virtualization software where you set up a virtual machine A virtual machine is like, think of this as like I'm virtualizing my computer into this box right here. This will virtualize your processor, your graphics card, your mouse, your keyboard, and put it into its own container, its own sandbox. And that allows me to run full operating systems. I can even install it, save data, and run it like a normal operating system, but it's all virtualized. Isn't Oracle the brand of the Red Bull F1 cars? Oracle it's got its money in a lot of places, but probably. So essentially, if you want to test software and not affect your main PC, it's actually sandbox, so it's more secure. You can run everything in a virtual machine. You just look up some guides on like how to install like Oracle's I think it's VirtualBox or Hyper-V. Don't pay for it. Install it, and then you would download an ISO, like a Linux ISO. So it's how you test things. Kind of. You can run it as like your daily driver, but yeah, it's a way you can test stuff without it. It's a way you can test Linux distributions and like Windows. I can run Windows in a virtual machine. I can run servers in a virtual machine. You can run pretty much anything. I'm just getting another hard drive. Yeah, or do that. Just get another hard drive. Like you don't running it on a flash drive is just going to be so bad. There's very few Linux distributions that can do that. Like where it can run efficiently on a flash drive. Tails is the exception. Nomad BSD, and there's a few other systems that can do it, but it's just you're gonna have a bad experience because NAND flash, flash drives in general, just aren't It's not performative. There's nothing that would be like good come from that. You know what? I'd advise buy it. Yeah, you can just get dude. SSDs are so cheap now. That makes sense. So why do virtual instead of partition? What if someone just wants to run Linux and no Windows? You just install Linux. No partition needed. 64 gig SSDs are probably not even manufactured anymore. 250. Yeah, it's 256 probably. I don't even think 64. I think actually no. The lowest SSD I have right now is 128. So if you want to just install Linux, you would put it on a flash drive and then you would just install it to your hard drive. Boom. Like how I did here. Like you would plug this into your flash drive and then this would pop up and then you would hit install. I won't install this because its intention is not to, but you install it. It literally, there's something called Calamares. Calamares is a GUI installer. So back in the day, Linux used to have to do a lot to install and get it to work. Now it guides you through the installation. It's kind of like a Windows install. Like if you want to install, like, hey, do you want to what do you want where's your city at? Like where's your general geographical location so that you can get updates fast enough? What like time of day, blah blah blah. It also depends if you have M2 or SATA. I run my operating system in M.2. I think it's relatively, I don't know, I think the smallest M.2 is 256. And then SATA, the smallest SSD is like 128. I messed with my VMs before. I'm just lazy. Oh, okay, just say you're lazy, dog. I'm just saying you're not gonna have a good experience doing anything in a fucking flash drive. From my experience, Linux install is easier than Windows. Yeah, it's easier now than it has ever been in like the last forever. Like since I've used Linux. And not only you get more user freedom, like you just have the ability to install whatever you want, whatever you see fit for your system. And then there's Linux-based specific distros. There's Linux distros for gaming. There's ones for forensics, one for hacking, whatever you want to call it, that are built. What distro would you recommend for a ThinkPad with 4 gigs of RAM, tiny core? do Linux apps still mirror Windows apps? No, but there's a lot of applications that don't work on Linux, but there is something called Winboat. So Winboat, like if you use like Adobe or something or proprietary software, you can use something called Winboat. It's beautiful. Run Windows for Penguins. Run Windows apps on Linux with seamless integration. So it allows you to run Windows apps with integrate like GIMP. Yes, GIMP, perfect. I know a lot of people that have never touched Linux and they know about GIMP. Yeah, you can use GIMP on Linux natively. It's supported. Which just or Wine's great. Linux with 4 gigs of a ThinkPad 61 with 4 gigs of RAM. Besides TinyCore, there's Puppy Linux, I think. No, Small. Damn. Small Damn Linux. Very. You only need I think DSL was originally a Model K, a 22 megabyte stripped down version of Canopix, but soon after, I think it's you just need 8 megabytes of RAM when it first started, but now all you need. DSL is designed to primarily support for x86 PCs. The minimum system requires for the older version was 8 megabytes, but now it's 16 megabits of RAM. So if you want to use that, this would be your perfect option. If you have no resources available, just use DSL, which is an unfortunate acronym, by the way. Because if y'all know, you know what DSL is. Yeah, it's a very small Linux. It hasn't been updated since what are you going to use it for? Well, 4 gigs. You already know you're only going to use it for fucking. This you could run from a live USB. You could probably use it on a USB, to be honest, at this point. Based. I can, generally, if someone's asking what you're going to use it for, it's probably just keep it live. I've used Cache on 4 gigs of RAM before. It was fine because of ZRAM and ZSwap. Yeah, true. Linux runs on everything. Why would you need a smaller one? Some people have they have hardware, memory, and CPU processing constraints, and because they have all these limitations, why use something that's going to use more more resources than it's necessary, and it can make older systems run much more efficient. Efficiency is always going to come from the fact that I can have more room to push stuff. NetBSD runs on more things than Linux. As far as I know, it's 56 hardware platforms. Billy just likes NetBSD because he doesn't have a wife. So if you look at my BTOP, I'm doing a lot. I'm using about 10 gigs of RAM right now. Double the amount that they have. If I were to switch over to something, oh nice, my system is updated, done. Okay. There's Small Damn Linux, and then there's TinyCore, and then it give it life back. TinyCore is another very small Linux distribution. It's using BusyBox, based boxes, I would say. Okay, so this is something called we're gonna cancel that. This is called it says Ubuntu, but it's really Tisaguri Linux. And it allows you. The fuck? to have a forensic Linux distribution. Do you have any use for Windows? Do you have or use Windows app? No. What's the weirdest distro you tried? Satanic Linux and Satanic Linux, Hannah Montana Linux, and there was that one that was for like white supremacists. I can't remember the name. North Star Linux or something like. It was like literally like just for Nazis. That was probably like a meme. What was another one? There was another weird one. There was one out there where if you type in the wrong command, it kills itself. That was a strange Linux distribution. That was the whole purpose. Like if you type a command wrong, it just wiped it. What's another weird one? Ooh, there's a hentai. There's a hentai one. I try not to, and to answer another thing, I don't. I try not to use proprietary software as much as possible if I can avoid it. Password recovery. Wow. Offline passwords, online passwords, word list, artifact analysis, network analysis. Oh, nice. I wonder if it's Wireshark. A funny distro I like to was NiArch Linux. It's just Arch with GNOME and has cute anime girls. Yeah, I used a I used a hentai bulk rename internet file Tor browser based links based links mentioned in the chat guys. Office Libre PDF Sam Basic Mate directory library office writer graphics sound bleach bit it's good. You can actually delete I think your browser cache. Yeah, you can. Bleachbit is pretty nice. I think we looked at NiArch as well. From like a standpoint, it's interesting. It's cool. It's just Arch Linux obviously, but Anime Girl. Ooh. Okay, so I feel cool like and like a hacker when I open up BTOP and see Matrix at the same time. Have you seen Hollywood? That's a you would feel like a super hacker. Hollywood, it's not maintained anymore, but it's whatever. It's do I still have it? I don't. Where's that browser? Oh, and the cool thing is this is write only. We should make a torrent Linux where it gets all the packages and installs media from torrents. What do you mean? I should see if I can torrent my videos. Actually, now I think about it, that'd be kind of funny. Billy, is there a way you can torrent my videos on I2P? If I emailed them to you? Or Simple X them to you? Your installed version of Firefox is now more than a few months old. Oh, nice. Cool. What did I want to look up? Oh, yeah, Tamper Monkey. I'm going to try installing on a hard drive right now. Nice. Based. As you should. I forget what Tamper Monkey was supposed to do. That's the North Korean Linux distro? No, the North Korean Linux distro is North Star. North Star is Red Star. No, it's Red Star, which I have used. That's a very interesting one. I was temporarily was fire when during was fire during class. We used to put a cheats on web games. Oh, okay. So it's something to do with the browser. Huh. Never used it. I'll have to. This is a very interesting very interesting interesting. Then there's what is it? Other Connect Proxy, Corkscrew, Iodine, Mosh, Open Connect, Open VPN, Proxy Change. Nice. Proxy Change is cool. It injects codes into sites. Oh, okay. Red Star. That's what it is. Yeah. Oh, kind of like what's the one? I Beef Hook. Do you know what Beef Hook is? Beef Hook is pretty cool. They're probably different, but that's the only way I could visualize it. Back in the day, I used to use this. Remember Fire Sheep? Is anyone old enough for Fire Sheep? There's so many extensions there. I just use uBlock Origin, NoScript, and I think some of these extensions are just like HTTPS everywhere. Doesn't really matter. Beef. This was good. Beef is sick. It's browser exploitation. It's super awesome. When I was into like Beef, fuck yeah, yeah. Beef is sick. Back when I used to use Firesheep, this was like my alternative that this was like the alternative that I found. You can do some pretty sick man in the middle attacks with it. I don't know why I said beef hook. It does web hooking essentially, but beef is pretty sick. I remember on Android there was this application that could spy on like SMS. Like it could spy on like SMS text messages. It could catch them. But this was like way back when SMS was worse than it is now. I never meant to use Ubuntu for a prolonged time on a thumb drive. Guys, I never meant to do this. I made a mistake. Let's see. Nice. RDP. Yeah. Yeah, I remember back in middle school, I bought a USB with a portable exe of Hello CE, and it worked on LAN multiple computers, lab PCs. Oh, Halo CE. That's kind of crazy, actually. Yeah, this is I think this is newly updated. I only came across it because of one thing. Isn't this is Billy's favorite text editor, Genie? Yeah, it's for a forensic investigation and some other things. What does this have? Metasploit? No, Metasploit's sick. Metasploit is a dangerous tool. Cryptocurrencies. Let's see. Wallet extract keys. Seed recover. Nice. Offline passwords. DNS sniff. Is that Hydra? Hydra's sick. Genie used to be my favorite. Now it's tied between Nice Editor and Emacs. Once a teacher at my school thought I was a hacker when I was updating Linux. Yeah, yeah, guys, hold on. Where's where's the Is it, yeah, sudo apt, sudo bloat, sudo app update. And don't forget to do tac y, guys. You save thousands of hours of time, thousands of hours over your lifetime if you do tac y for everything. Don't let yes or no stop you from living life. Look, guys, I'm a true supreme hacker. This has got a cool set of tools too. Like, it's pretty chill. The system kernel's kind of nice. I love Arch. I just type in PRU to update. This is called Tisaguri. Tisaguri? Oh, which distro are you asking? I love Arch. Yeah, Arch is updating his. Yeah, this is blow. Emerge with tech V option looks more like a hacker than an apt. Look at this. Din, 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 din. Where's hacker? Can I play hacker music without with no DMCA strike? What is similar? What is similar to Stingray? Oh, search up on NCS songs or something. Stingray's is the actually the funny thing about Stingray. Are you talking about Stingray's like the things that like hurt like de like push down and like catch messaging? Because if you're at, so if I found this out actually, Stingrays is they're kind of like the Kleenex of this industry. Stingrays aren't are the name of the product. They're because they're so widely adopted, but they're really just IMSI. There's a really different name for them, but in reality, they're just an IMSI catcher, a Simser catcher or something. Pissy Linux isn't on Portman's IPTV tracker. I'll put it there, as you should. I should, yeah, I should package like a bunch of like Linux distros and like find a way to serve them on the internet. Make my ISP cry, because I hate them. Ooh, nice calamari's. Based. Yeah, Stingrays is the name. It's interesting. Is the name of the product? It's like Kleenex. There's a name for this too, where where it's the brand becomes so popular that the brand replaces the actual product and it's used in place of the brand. Like the brand is used in place of the actual product, which is kind of funny, like Kleenex, etc., etc. Wow. Base, guys. Okay, so I have given an hour and 24 minutes of my time. One beer equals one EP. Once I can figure out a way how to put a beer counter on my screen, I will do that. But what you really should do is comment below after the video ends what your favorite beer is, because everyone's got one. Even if you don't drink beer, you have a favorite beer. If you don't, Thousand Years of Bad Luck. Favorite anime, by the way. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. I'll come back to you at that one. I have a list. I don't have a favorite. I'm gonna be honest. I like them all. I like them all for all the anime that I watch. I like for a different reason. But I'll come back to you at that one. I'll come back to you with like my top five. I can give five. I can't give just one. There's five. But I will. But comment your favorite beer below so that YouTube knows that I'm a real person and I love all their policies and I've never done anything wrong and they enjoy me on their platform as well. So also drop your favorite anime list. If you don't, Thousand Years of Bad Luck. Love you all.